Support for Radio Friends comes from La Brunerie Financial, where they work to ensure a lifetime of financial security for people from all walks of life, from investment services to retirement plans. If you're looking for a trustworthy company that has the experience and knowledge to put your interests first, contact La Brunerie Financial, a community-based investment counseling firm since 1966. Good morning and welcome to Radio Friends on Monday, November the 15th. Pleasure to have you with us today. I have two of my friends from Mom Demand Action with us. They have been on the program in the past, but they've got a special event coming up in just a couple of days that they want to talk about. Catey, Terry, and Kristin Bowen. Good to have both of you here.
Hi, Paul.
Your event is what, November the 18th?
Correct. Thursday, November 18th. It's National Injury Prevention Day. And Moms is involved, as are other groups. It's the second annual event. And it's just a focus. We're taking a day with a couple activities involved to focus on injury prevention. We talk about accidents all the time, but really prevention is how we save lives. And Moms is, of course, interested in saving children's lives and safe gun storage.
Now, there may be a few people out there who are not familiar with what your organization is and what you're trying to do. Moms Demand Action stands for what?
So our full name is Moms Demand Action for Gun Sense in America. And what that just means is that we're here working as volunteers, as moms, but we're not only moms, anyone can join, to keep guns out of the hands of dangerous people and to keep people safe from unintentional and preventable shootings. So we are a nonpartisan organization. We're the largest gun violence prevention organization in the nation with about 6 million supporters. Yeah. And here in Missouri, we have local groups all across the state doing this work to keep our community safe.
Yeah, I think it's important to emphasize that you are not trying to take guns away from people.
No.
And sometimes you get unfair criticism there.
We are not anti-gun. I think that's a misconception that some people may have. We are anti-gun violence. And that's something we talk about regularly and we can show because many of our members, including some of us in leadership, are ourselves gun owners. So we believe in the Second Amendment. We just think there's more that we can be doing to enact safe policies to keep our communities safe from violence.
And that's in our full name, Gun Sense. It's not any kind of control. It's just common sense around guns, gun legislation, gun storage, things like that to keep us all safe.
What do you think the biggest mistake we make as far as keeping guns safe in our home and in our community?
The biggest mistake I think we make is that people assume that children are not curious and they won't find the guns. We have a program called Be Smart, and it's an acronym, and it's all about safe gun storage because you see this particularly in St. Louis and other large cities, Kansas City as well, and Missouri. About people leaving weapons on top of stereo receivers or under their pillow or by their bed. And people don't understand that children are curious and will find them, and we see tragedy after tragedy. And our point is, and part of National Injury Prevention Day, is those are all preventable. There's a way to stop children from accessing guns, and it's just storing them safely.
Yeah.
It's not enough to tell our kids to be safe. We have to, as adults, take responsibility.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because if you leave a gun out on the table, or you leave it out, what was it? I think it was last year or the year before last, somebody in Jefferson City left a gun in the bathroom.
That's right, yeah.
In a bathroom.
A few years ago, yeah.
You leave it out and kids see this, they're gonna pick it up and and not even give any thought to it. And if it's loaded, they could end up hurting someone, in worst case scenario, killing someone.
Oh, absolutely. And it tends, if they're playing with other children, it tends to be children. It's all tragic and so sad, but it's entirely preventable. That's our point.
Yeah.
So we ask people to store firearms safely, meaning locked away from where children can access them, with the ammunition stored separately. That's part of this campaign to be smart.
Never have the ammunition in the gun.
No. And then to have the opportunity when you do have a firearm out to model responsible behavior, to talk about it, to show that these are dangerous weapons and that we take care when we take a firearm out.
You know, I can remember when I was a kid, my dad liked to hunt, and he always had a rifle and he had a shotgun. And I remember I must have been 6 or 7 years old, and he was going to go hunting, and he had the gun there, and he was right there. He didn't leave it unattended, and I went and I picked it up and I pointed it at him. Oh. I was just a kid. I didn't think anything of it, but boy, did I get corrected. You never, ever, I remember him telling me, don't you ever point a gun at anybody. I said it wasn't loaded. He said it doesn't make any difference whether it's loaded or not. You don't know if it's loaded.
That's
it could accidentally be loaded. I never forgot that.
Right.
And I would never, ever do that again. It stuck with me, and that was 70 years ago.
It was not 70 years ago, clearly.
What's that?
I'm quite sure it wasn't 70 years ago.
I was 6 or 7 years old.
But,
I'm 76 now.
Oh, my gosh.
So that was 70 years ago.
Well,
You
look,
don't
Paul,
look a day
we know
over
as
39.
parents, and you know as from your experience,
Yeah.
that kids are going to get into scrapes. Kids are going to tumble and fall and get into trouble.
Right.
And
we
we
wouldn't
want
have
that.
it any other way,
We want
right?
that.
Those are
Right.
kids are being kids. But we do know that as adults, there are things that we can do to prevent unintentional shootings and from other kinds of tragic access to firearms. I mean, we also know part of injury prevention is keeping guns stored safely so that people can't get access to them who shouldn't have access.
Right.
So don't leave your firearm in the glove box of your car, for example. So Injury Prevention Day is a day when we come together to say, look, alongside a coalition of people who have expertise in this area, including the American Academy of Pediatrics and trauma centers around the nation, and they're saying, look, there are simple things we can do to keep our kids safe from these unintentional and preventable tragedies.
Injury Prevention Day, are you going to have any type of a rally on that day, or is it just a day?
There are events scheduled around the country. Here in Columbia, for your listeners, we'd like to invite everyone to take note of the day by, they're calling it Shine a Green Light on National Injury Prevention Day. So the color is green. We're gonna turn social media green. I'm going to light my front porch green. I'm going to run down to Westlakes and get a green light bulb to light my front porch green, just to bring awareness. There's also a big event on Twitter that day at noon.
Starting
here
at noon.
in Columbia. You can listen in on Twitter and talk to experts and get tips. And there's a fabulous resource, injuryfree.org is their website, where you can get tips on all kinds of safety things relating to your kids, on how to think about bicycle safety, everything kids can get up to, including resources on how to be smart.
Okay, so mark it on your calendar, and you can take part in this any way you like, but just be safe, right? It's November the 18th, and Moms Demand Action. If people want more information, how can they get in touch with you?
We're on the web at momsdemand.org, and we have local Facebook groups.
And if you're ready to join us, you can just text the word READY to 64433. That's our number. And a nice woman will call you up and ask you how you'd like to get involved. We have work for you to do.
So text 644.
Text the word READY to 64433.
Okay, thank you. We're out of time for today. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Paul.